Thinking about buying a home in Hampton Roads, but you don't know where to start? See, most buyers think that the home buying process is finding a home, making an offer, and getting the keys. But it's way more to it than just that. See, not knowing what the process is can leave you overwhelmed, frustrated, or even possibly missing out on your dream home. In this video, we're going to break down the home buying process from start to finish so that way that you can do your home search with confidence and have a clear game plan. Let's get into it. Welcome to the Moving to Norfolk channel. I'm your host, Craig Houston. If this is your first time being here with us and you're looking to make that smooth move to Hampton Roads, well, we urge you to go ahead and subscribe to the channel and ring that notification bell as well, so that way that you can be the first to learn about everything that's going on in the Hampton Roads market. And we get phone calls and texts from viewers just like you each and every day, and I love it. Whether you're moving in 9 days or in 90 days, we encourage you to go ahead and reach out to us by phone call, by shooting us a text, writing us an email, or even by booking that video call down in the description below. We look forward to helping you making that smooth move to Hampton Roads. So the very first thing that I consider in the home buying process that is important for you to do is to get a pre-approval. Now, what is a pre-approval? It's actually, if you're needing financing, if you're not paying for a home in cash, you're going to need financing. Financing can come from a lender, or it can come from a bank, or it can come from a mortgage broker. In this scenario, we're going to talk about home buying process as you're obtaining a loan. When you're obtaining the loan, you need to get a pre-approval. And before you go shopping on Zillow or even considering doing home tours, this is one of the most important steps that you can do, because it helps you understand how much home you can afford. Then also, in knowing how much home you can afford, you can target what's your payment range with that lender as well. And once you know your payment range and you know how much you can afford, it allows you to actually be taken seriously by sellers when you are able to provide the pre-approval with your offer as well, and not have to wait and get a pre-approval that may get denied at any point. So, and also one of the things as well too, you can kind of know where your interest rate can be, but it won't be locked in right now. And this helps you get into the game immediately. Now, this also helps you in a competitive market as well, because you're able to act quickly when you already have the pre-approval in hand and don't have to wait to get your documents in order, and make sure that you get the pre-approval through a lender, or even shop around with a different lender as well too. So let's talk about some of the things that you should consider when it goes through it. And credit score is going to be important. Credit score, you want to make sure that you at least have a minimum 620 credit score. And the reason why I say a minimum credit score of 620 in Virginia is because Virginia housing allows for you to get down payment assistance, whether you're using an FHA or a conventional loan type, where you can actually get down payment assistance, where they'll actually help you with 3.5% down payment if you're using FHA, or 5% down if you're doing a conventional loan. Now, the rates are going to be a little bit higher on this program because you're getting assistance from the state with your down payment. That's going to equate to a second note on the mortgage, which is not going to really be a lot. It's just going to be something that you have to take into consideration as well, depending on how much down payment that you need. So what does a down payment assistance program really looks like? Let's just take a look over here real quick. I'm gonna show you in writing what it actually is. I'm gonna take my calculator out real quick. So if you was doing a down payment assistance in the state of Virginia, I'm gonna write this down for you. Let's take a look. Okay, so if you was doing FHA, that requires 3.5% down. And if you was doing conventional loan, that will require at least at a minimum 5% down, okay? So let's just take a look on the average sales price, the median sales price in Virginia. Let's just say it's $300,000. On both sides, is a little bit more than that per city, but we'll just use this as an example. And you need it to bring 3.5% down. 3.5% times 300,000 is going to be $10,500. That Virginia housing would allow for them to help you with on this payment for your down payment assistance. And if it was 5%, it would be $15,000. If it was a conventional loan. So Virginia housing would bring that down payment for you when you're going to actually make the payment. Now, you may have a little cash, but if you have your own cash and you're able to qualify for this down payment assistance, what happens is you can convert your cash over to the closing cost side of this, which we'll later explain in this video. But right now, just talking about down payment, you either need to have 3.5% or you need to have 5% if you're using an FHA or conventional loan type. Now, if you're a veteran or an active duty service member and you're using a VA loan, the good thing about that loan product is you don't require a down payment. So that is one of the things that's the benefit of having the VA loan. So that's what then, but you still go through the same process with your lender where you have to bring bank statements and you have to show your pay stubs, and then you have to fill out the application where they actually will pull your credit to actually evaluate your credit worthiness against your debt to income ratio and balance that out. Now, a lot of times, a lot of people wonder what's going on with their credit score. The middle credit score is the number that they're going to use from all three bureaus. So it depends on what the numbers are for all three bureaus. If they're in a wide range, that middle number is going to be the number they're going to use for your credit worthiness and to actually to use for your rate that you'll be eligible for as well. So home buying process, definitely you always want to start with the lending process, and that's going to begin obtaining a pre-approval. And there's so many more things that we can dive to in very specific details on a case-by-case basis, but this is an overview of the home buying process. So I don't want to bog you down with too much information, but if you have specific questions, comment down below. What are they? And we'll help you navigate through those home buying process steps. So let's jump over into step number 2. I think step number 2 is the most important thing as well too. These could number 1 and number 2 can be very interchangeable. But in this situation, we're going to rank number 2 as finding the right agent. Finding the right agent is going to play a vital role for you. And the reason why I say that is because you want to find someone who's not only going to be able to negotiate on your behalf, but they're going to be a residential local expert in your community. But then also they're going to be able to educate you on inspections, financing, and closing details that you need to know throughout the home buying process. And having someone in your corner who knows, who specializes in these 3 intricate details is going to help you navigate this market very well and exceptionally throughout the whole process. One of the major things that you can do in this process is also understand if the agent that you're working with understand the loan vehicle type that you are actually working with, whether you're using an FHA, whether you're using a conventional loan, whether you're using a VA loan, or even using a down payment assistance program or any other specialized program that you're going to be governed by in actually obtaining your mortgage and actually obtaining the keys to your home, because there's so many different loan types and there's so many different special housing programs that it sometimes can get convoluted in what people know. You will be surprised for this to be a heavy military town in Virginia. You can still, and this has been a heavy military town, you can still find agents who don't know as much as they should know about the VA home loan. And when they don't know this information, it hinders the veteran or the active duty service member from obtaining homes that should be in their reach or in their grasp at least. So I want to make sure that you understand, not only should your agent be able to negotiate on your behalf, educate you on financing, home inspections, appraisals, closing costs, contingencies that's dealing with your contract, but also you should not only have a residential expert, but someone who can make sure that they're able to help you throughout the whole process from beginning to end. And after the fact of you moving into the home, a lot of times things come up that cannot be foreseen. And even in this case, you want someone who's well connected in the community and have relationships with other experts in the community that can help you and assist you throughout your home buying process and while you're living in your home as well too. Now let's talk about your home search. This is the most fun part of the whole home buying process, is touring homes and finding the home that actually fits you. So I think there's a wrong way and the right way to do a home search. Let's talk about what's the wrong way first. The wrong way is actually jumping on your phone and looking at Zillow and looking at Redfin without a plan. And here's the thing. even in your local market, it's hard for buyers to always choose one source of information because they think their agent may be not showing them all the right houses. But you want your agent to curate a specific list off the MLS, the multiple listing service, which is a service where all the homes that's available on the market in your area is actually going to be. And companies like Zillow and Redfin use the same service as well. They just have their own feed that replicates the data in their algorithm for their web pages versus the MLS. So it doesn't really matter which source you use as long as the information is accurate. And sources like Zillow and Redfin don't really care about the information that you're seeing as being very accurate. And here's the reason why. They are a lead-based service, meaning when you go and view a home on their service base, Zillow, Redfin, any other home searching app, what happens is you're going to have to eventually register on that. And that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to get you to register for more information so they can farm your information out to a local agent in your market who's going to pay them a referral fee for actually sending that information to them to actually help you shop in their marketplace. So if you already have an agent, work with your agent to understand what the MLS service provides and how they can create a curated list of homes that's available for your search criteria directly to you. Now, let's talk about that curated search criteria. You want to make sure that like I said at the beginning, you already identified how much home do you want to afford with your lender. And once you and your lender have had that conversation on the payment that you're looking at, that's going to equate to a range of homes that you want to pay for in the purchase price. But then there's other things that goes into this as well, like your needs. And I equate needs as being beds, baths, square footage, and essentials, like do you need a washer and dryer right away, or do you just need the washer and dryer hookups? How many do you need to have bath downstairs? Do you need a 2-story? Do you need a ranch? Do you need an ADA accessible home? All these things are going to be needs. And then once you figure out the needs with your realtor, you want to start talking about what are your wants and your desires. So once you have that list curated, you may want a house with a pool. You may want a backyard deck. You may want a large lot. You may just want to not be in an HOA or be in an HOA community. So all those things matter, and then those become the wants that you're looking at. And this curated list comes out to you on a routine daily basis, whether that's immediate or whether that's once a day, Monday through Friday, or 7 days a week, however you like it. But this list right here helps you establish a rhythm, helps you understand what's really in the marketplace, and it helps you identify homes that matter to you. Now, could your agent make changes for you and adjust things for you as you start to look at other homes? Yes, a great agent should be taking note on what you're looking for and identifying the things that you are actually concerned about and the things that you don't like in homes. And then if there's some things that they can do in their search criteria to take some of those things out of your search parameters, they should be doing that for you. So this is another one of those tactics that a great agent would be paying attention to. Now, one of the things that you need to know is that when great homes come on the market, they will sell fast. They won't last long, so you need to be able to make sure that you're managing your schedule appropriately to get out to see homes on a routine basis. Now, that's going to help you actually identify the right home, and maybe even after 3 or 4 tries of looking at a house, you're going to actually know from the pictures in the neighborhoods and the communities that you're in that what you're really looking for and expecting from a home. So that's going to really make it easier for you to streamline your process as you go through this. So whether it's house number 1 or if it's house number 15, you should know exactly what it is when it comes across your board, and you should be ready to write an offer as soon as you identify the right home for you. Now, step number 4 is going to be making an offer and negotiating a deal. Once you found the perfect home, now you want to make an offer that stands out from above the rest if there's more than one. If it's just you that's making an offer, even better. But if it's not just you that's making an offer, you want to be able to stand out in the marketplace. And this is where you and your agent have another conversation on what is the home accurate value for this home? What is the general value that this home should be expected in purchase? And that's going to, come from a comparative market analysis that your agent can do. Now, at the end of the day, like I always tell clients, and I suggest to them, the comparative market analysis is just that, an analysis. Depending on how bad you really want this home and how many other people are involved in purchasing this home or trying to write an offer on, I should say, that number can go out of the window, and it could just come straight down to how bad do you want the house and how much are you willing to pay to get the house at the end of the day. So always remember that the comparative market analysis is just a generality. It's not exactly the foregone conclusion of how much a house is actually going to actually pay for. So keep that in mind. But also, how competitive is the market in your area? Like I said, if you have multiple offers on this one home in your market, then that may not be the home for you if you don't want to get into a bidding war. But if there's another home in your neighborhood that you're actually looking at with this home, you may be able to go across the street and offer a house on another house that makes more sense for you. Now, it's just going to come down to what do you think that you want to do the most. Some people want to be in bidding wars and don't mind them, and others do. So that may actually deter you from actually going into a bidding war on raising the price on a home that you don't want to pay the extra payment for the increase in purchase. Now, also, understanding how motivated the seller is. Just because a seller put their home on the market does not mean that they're ready to let go of it. So you have to kind of understand what the seller's motivation is, and that's where your agent comes into communication with the other agent to kind of understand what is the seller expectations, what is the seller really looking for, and is the seller really determined to sell this home immediately and not actually just sit on it and wait for the ideal offer. So these things should be things that's been taken into consideration as well. I just like to always point out that price is not everything. Price is going to be one of those things where it's going to be the starting point, but the terms of a negotiation is going to be more ideal. Whether that's dealing with contingencies, whether that's dealing with inspections, whether that's dealing with closing cost assistance or not, the seller not paying closing cost assistance. All these things goes into it at the end of the day. And that's what's going to make a seller feel better about their turn. When they have the right terms of a deal that makes sense for them, is usually when you're going to get an accepted offer. So step 5 is writing that offer and getting it accepted. So congratulations, you had an offer accepted. Now what steps is up next? Well, now we have to get you to the closing table. So that means we have home inspections. We have contingencies that we have to work through. Then there's going to be loan approval paperwork that you need to do while you're getting an appraisal done. And then we're off the closing to get you your keys. But before we get there, there's so many other things that we need to do. And if you're thinking about making that smart move to Hampton Roads, I want you to feel free to reach out to us. And don't forget, if you have comments or you have questions that you want to know about the part 1 of this video, definitely leave them down in the comment section for us as well too. And don't forget to watch part 2 of the home buying process, where I break down some of the biggest mistakes that buyers make and how you need to avoid these as well. So I'll see you over there, and I'll catch you in the next video. Peace.